Welcome back to another episode of All Things Everything presented by Gulf Coast Smoke. My name is Alonzo.
And I'm Sabrina.
And this is different. This feels different. It even feels different, like I'm adjusting the mic a little bit. We have a completely different view today. We are in our office, which is really weird to say, to be 100% honest. We got an office, and we've had it for 2 or 3 weeks now?
Since the first?
Okay, so that's been 10 days. I don't know why.
It feels like
it's been longer, been a lot. Well, probably because the process of getting it, definitely, it's been 3 or 4 weeks since we started the process of talking to them and doing all that stuff. But yeah, we're in an office. We have office space now, and we obviously want to talk about that today. But we also wanted to talk about a few things that we did over the past week. Obviously, we did not do a podcast or a video last week. And why is that?
So we went out of town. You had some vacation. So we went ahead and took the family up to Round Rock. Mm-hmm. Went to the Kalahari resort, which was actually really, really cool.
Yeah, it was really nice. I didn't know what to expect. I've heard great things about it, but I did not know what to expect. And it truly was as cool as everybody was saying. So if you guys have never been to the Kalahari resort, it's an indoor water park, but it's not just an indoor water park. So there's 6 restaurants in there. There's an ice cream parlor. There's a candy parlor. There's almost like a little convenience store in there. Mm-hmm. There's a Build-A-Bear in there. Oh, there's actually a huge, and I'm talking huge, arcade.
Yeah.
The arcade was probably just as impressive, if not maybe more, than the indoor pool area.
I don't know if you saw, but over in the corner where the mini golf was supposed to be, there was kids with harness on climbing up.
Yeah. So the kids, so there was laser tag. The kids could climb up. There was a restaurant with a bowling alley in it. There was plenty of stuff for adults to do. There was a grotto where you could go drink and do adult stuff. And overall, it was just really amazing. Obviously, we went there and we took the kids and we were spending time with the family. We didn't do anything like that, you and I, but we did get out there with the kids, and I think they had a blast based on what they told us. We asked them, hey, did you guys have fun? Would you guys want to come back? And all that stuff. But, man, it was a great week. I can tell you guys this much. If you guys ever plan on going to the Kalahari, be ready to spend some money because it is very expensive. I mean, it's very expensive, and I should have expected that. Well, I think we kind of did expect that. But it was most definitely very expensive. And, the kids ran through,
it's
$300 worth of credits for the arcade in 30 minutes.
It's like when you go to Chuck E. Cheese and it's I used up all the or Peter Piper. I used up all the tokens trying to do this. Let me just refill. Another 10. Another 10.
Yeah. And it seems really simple. So they're one of those locations where you have a wristband. Mm-hmm. And you just swipe your wristband for everything. So you might not necessarily feel all of the money that you're spending, but you really are spending money. We went to go get ice cream one day, and everybody just got cups of ice cream. And I got 1 cone with 2 scoops, which in my opinion is a pretty standard ice cream cone.
Right.
It was $77.
Yeah, you go to Baskin Robbins for half the price.
Maybe even less than half.
Oh,
It was rowdy. That being said, honestly, I would go again, and I think that the kids had a lot of fun. Just prepare yourself, obviously, if you're going to go to any of those resorts. I think any of those resorts where everything is there, I think it's going to be really expensive. And it just kind of is what it is.
They're going to hike up the price because, you're there.
Yeah, we planned it. We knew, and we knew what we were getting ourselves into. So no big deal, just a warning for everybody out there that might be going to one of those resorts. But again, the kids had a blast. It was a blessing to be able to get away for a few days. It actually felt kind of good to not create any content. Not good, but it just, we got away from it for a few days, and I think we came back pretty re-energized, and we've been working on the office. You've been working on it more than me. I had to go back to work. So this is your work. This is what you do, right? And so you've been coming over here every single day. I came after work yesterday. Mm-hmm. And today after work as well. And we've been doing stuff in here. But, Sabrina got everything looking really, really nice in here. And the opposite side, so we have 2 suites. Mm-hmm. So we have 101 and 102 are our 2 suites. And the 101 side, which is not the side that we're in right now, is going to be where we hold our products. And when I don't really know 100% if we're going to allow people to like come shop necessarily. I think we probably will, but we won't have like set hours.
Right.
So if I wake up on a Saturday and I'm over here working, I'm going to post on social media, hey, I'm at the office. If anyone needs seasonings, come on over. I can help you out. Or if people come over here and they're doing local pickup, they can come to the office now. So I guess, did you want to say anything else about vacation?
No, I mean, yeah,
so we do have something else to talk about vacation-wise, right?
Yeah.
And that's, we did go eat at one of my buddy's restaurants, but I feel like because we're kind of on the topic of the office already, we might as well talk about the office,
for sure.
Unless you want to, kind
right
of double back. But so, yeah, I mean, one of the most common questions that you and I have been getting ever since we obviously our business has been created from us creating content. First, it started with Instagram, moved into Facebook, moved into video, moved into YouTube. And so our business started through making content. And, of course, we created a line of seasonings that we're very proud of, and we hope that everybody enjoys out there. And now our business is not just creating content. We have to fulfill orders. We have to take inventory. We have to pay invoices. We receive invoices. We do all of that just between you and I. And it's most definitely hard, but it's also very fulfilling. I'll preface this whole thing by saying that Sabrina and I are nothing special, right? Obviously, she's special to me, and I think I'm special to her, but I say that with complete, I mean it sincerely. Like, we're nothing special. We're two people that want something, and we have like-minded goals, and we're working toward it. That's it. Anybody out there that's listening and has something that they want to do, I wholeheartedly believe that you can do it, and I wholeheartedly believe that you can be bigger than us. You can be in the same spot as us. You can have office space one day too if you want it. We really never thought that we'd be at a point where we would have or need office space. But the most common question that I've been getting and you've been getting is, hey, why'd you guys get an office? Mm-hmm. Right? So that's been, a lot of people have been asking us, why'd you get an office? So why did we get an office? Just to put it out there, why did we get an office?
So, yeah, I mean, first of all, the business has been growing, which is really good for us. We started out everything, filming, having products, everything at our home. Mm-hmm. So, and we just have a normal 3-bedroom house, right? So one of our, bedrooms was being used as an office podcast. We were storing product in there, which actually, when we had an inspection from the state, they informed us that, hey, you're not really supposed to do that.
Yeah.
So, we had our trailer. We were able to put seasonings in there, but,
and just a sidebar for that, if anybody is interested in getting into this business, just know that if you're in Texas, you're actually not supposed to be storing your products at your home. And we found that out the hard way. And also, I will say this, we invited the health department in. We didn't know or think we were doing anything wrong. So take it from us, if you guys are interested in getting into this business and you want it to be as legit as possible, just be careful. Right. Because you are technically not allowed to have your products in your home as storage. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
No, for sure. Yeah, you can't package orders. You can't bring it in, weigh it, and do all your stuff and then take it back outside, right? So,
and that's because it's food-related items, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Like
so
any type of merchandise was fine.
Yeah, any merchandise was fine, but the food-related items were not okay. And again, the reason I wanted to tell you guys that is just in case you do have products or you want to get into products, I 100% say do it. Just know that there's some stuff that we weren't aware of. Right. And honestly, there's probably still stuff we're not aware of, but we grow as a business. And yeah, so anyway, again, sorry to interrupt, but we're on the topic. I want to make sure that people know, by the way, we didn't get in any trouble for that or anything. They just told us, hey, you need to move your products. This is not allowed. Mm-hmm. And we did. And that's another reason why we needed an office. But anyway, why did we get an office? I know you were explaining.
Yeah. And so even if we wanted to put things in our garage, they said you would have had to put an exterior door leading straight into the garage because the products can't be in any sort of living space, right? Yep. So, and we competed a lot. So it's like, okay, well, we had to move that product somewhere just to take the trailer out, right? So then we also have, packaging supplies that are, taking up space in the closet. Mm-hmm. We have all of our podcast stuff, all of our trophies, all of our certificates from competition, just all of these things that are starting to pile up in that one room, right?
Yeah.
And, we have a growing family too that is growing and needs more space.
Yeah.
So it really just, the opportunity came up to have this office, and, it just really made sense because now we have a place to, and even with having the trailer to store product, we can only order certain amounts of product. So now we have the option to order more product and have more product in stock, and keep it here. We can fulfill orders here. It's really great too because now we can film the podcast here. We're essentially freeing up a whole room in our house
for us to feel like we have more of a home.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, running a business out of your home or trying to run a business, your home doesn't feel like a home.
It doesn't.
It just, you've got boxes laying around. You've got, which our camera equipment still has to stay there.
Yeah,
but
of course.
You have all this equipment and all these knickknacks and things that are business related that are staying at your house.
Yeah.
And so it starts to feel less and less like a home.
Like a home, for sure. Yeah, I'm with you 100% on that. It's one of those things. Sabrina and I actually like to run our business, and we like to purchase our seasonings in smaller batches because they are fresher that way. They're consistently being made, and we don't have products sitting on the shelves for 8 months a year, which is no problem if you want to do it like that. We've just decided that we like to keep up with our inventory very closely and continuously have fresh batches of seasonings in stock. But we kind of made those decisions because, again, we did not have space.
Right.
Now, granted, our office space is actually not that huge, so we don't have just a bunch of room to put stuff, but we do have more room. So, we're going to start ordering larger quantities, which is going to allow us to go out of stock less and continue providing products to you guys that hopefully you're going to continue to buy for years to come. And I do want to take a quick moment to obviously recognize the people that are listening, watching, and purchase the products. Obviously, without you guys, we can't do any of this.
Yeah, right. Like, none of this would even be necessary if we weren't selling product.
Yeah, so none of this would be necessary if we weren't selling product, and we genuinely appreciate the support. You guys have kind of been with us for a long time now, and Sabrina and I we've continued to work, and we're still not where we want to be, but it definitely feels really cool to be able to have our own office space. We feel very proud, and we're excited, and we can't wait to show some of you guys what we've got and where we're at. And it's just an exciting day. But yeah, to kind of wrap up that question, why did you get an office? The very, very simple answer is our business just justified it at this point.
Yeah.
We've grown to a certain point, and we're trying to operate out of our home. And it's very hard. It makes home uncomfortable. Home does not feel like home. And you go home and your house smells like barbecue seasonings. And it's one of those things where it's kind of crazy. Like, you become numb to it. You become used to it. And then people come over. They're like, dang, it smells in here. Not bad, but it just, like, the seasoning smell. You got peppers and salts. And it's a strong smell.
We always keep product in the house just for us, right? So we'll keep like cases of product just for us to use, and that alone, you don't realize the smell until it's gone, and then you're like, oh my gosh, it doesn't smell like cardboard and seasoning,
Yeah, and that's because sometimes cardboard, depending, smells really horrible.
Right.
So it smells really horrible sometimes, but again, we're just the business justified it at this point, and we are very happy to get some of this stuff out of our home. Well, not some, all of this stuff is coming out of our home now, and it's in here. Yeah. And it's just a great, great, great feeling. That alone was worth it to us. But one more time, thank you guys for listening, watching, and continuing to purchase our products, because again, without you guys, we literally don't even think about doing these things, can't do these things, and we're very, very grateful. We're obviously already continuing to work on more products. We're continuing to try and push better videos out to you guys, and always trying to not reinvent the wheel, but think about what can we do better? How can I be better? How can Sabrina be better? What things can we learn that are going to help our business? So it's been really fun. But yeah, I mean, we did want to kind of just talk about the office for a little bit, because I've got that question so many times. Hey, why'd you get an office? Hey, why'd you get an office? And people are just curious, and I get it, and I completely respect that. But yeah, at this point, we needed it. This opportunity came up. It was a really good opportunity, and we took it. So we'll be in this office space until further notice, I guess. I mean, we'll hopefully grow out of it. Yeah. I would love to grow out of it next month, right? And then move on to the next thing. But we'll be here until we're ready to go somewhere else. So keep purchasing seasonings, keep watching, and, thank you guys. But yeah, I think that's enough about the office. What did we do this past week when it came to filming recipes, when it came to cooking, and then when it came to eating good barbecue?
So we just released a video on Tuesday of pork rib boneless wings, boneless pork rib wings.
We didn't know what to call it, and I'll tell you what, did you see the comment? We got one comment. Actually, let me pull it up. I've been trying my best not to pull up my phone while we're doing the podcast, because that's rude. But I do want to read this comment real quick. We got a comment that said, hold on.
Did we get just absolutely roasted?
He just punked us pretty much. He said, love the idea, not so much the name. Rib wings in quotations. Dumb. No part of that has anything at all to do with a wing, my brother. I will definitely be making them know. So, okay.
I get what he's saying.
I get what you're saying, right? And that's why it's like, I'm not hating on you. I appreciate the comment. I appreciate you watching. And I'm really, really glad that you decided you're going to make them. The reason that we called them pork rib wings, boneless pork rib wings, whatever we called them in the video, I don't even know. Just call them damn good. I mean, we smoked some baby back ribs. We pulled the bones and we cut them into bite-sized pieces and tossed them in wing sauce. So that's where we're like, oh, they're like pork wings. They're boneless pork wings.
And here's the thing too. Think about boneless wings. Those aren't wings either.
Yeah, it's just chicken. It's just like
it's like a chicken nugget.
Yeah, it's like a chicken nugget. But hey,
it's supposed to mimic a wing without the bone, right? Yeah. So it's unrelated to an actual chicken wing. So that's kind of where the inspiration is. It's supposed to be like a boneless wing, which isn't even actually a wing.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to mimic that.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I get it. I understand the comment, but we did get kind of, that's dumb. So, well, I guess it was dumb. Sorry. But what we were trying to do was, we've been noticing a lot of people have been making party ribs recently. And what party ribs are is, if you guys don't know, it's getting a rack of ribs, cutting them individually, and then putting them around a vortex and cooking them in about, 1.5, 2 hours, pretty hot and pretty fast. And individually, you can toss them in some sauce or whatever, and it's a party wing, so everybody can just go around, grab a wing, boom, 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 bite it. You got bark all the way around it. You got flavor all the way around it. Now, we've actually done that in the past. You remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, we've done this before the party wing craze, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't really care for them. I think that the texture doesn't come out nearly as good because you're cooking them a lot hotter and you're a lot faster, but you're also cutting those ribs individually. So it's not as large of a piece of meat, so you're not going to retain as much moisture, and I just don't think you can get it as tender. That being said, they are good. It just got me thinking, how can we make this party idea just a little bit better? Because I still think that you can get a nice tender rib, and you can have bite-sized pieces for everybody, or something to grab and go. So we're like, okay, what if we smoked some pork ribs, used really, really neutral flavors, salt, pepper, garlic, whatever. So we used Malcolm's TX rub, Killer Hog's TX rub, which is a great rub. We threw them all over. Man, we just smoked them up, and they came out really nice, really tender. And then we just tossed them in some sauce, and they were really good. Now, another thing that we did, which I did it on purpose, we pulled the bones out of the actual ribs. And we posted a reel, and the caption was like, overcooked or perfect. You guys let me know. And we got a lot of comments that were hating a little bit. Oh, those are way overcooked. Way overcooked. Like, that looks horrible. You know, way overcooked, whatever. And we were getting dogged on a little bit. I'm going to tell you guys one thing. Those ribs were actually not overcooked. And again, I knew what I was getting myself into by posting that reel. I did. And we talked about it. I'm like, hey, I know this is going to be controversial, but I'm going to post it because it's engagement. And that's really what it's all about, right? You want people to comment on your videos, and some of them are going to like it. Some of them are going to hate it. It just is what it is. Those ribs were nowhere near overcooked. And okay. I would put money that anybody in the world that bit one of those ribs, if they didn't see that video and I just cut the rib and gave it to them and bit it, they would not say it's overcooked.
Yeah.
I would bet anything. I would bet every single cent in our bank account that no one would say those are overcooked, because they weren't.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I don't even know if I should say this. I did. So you know what I did with the bones. Should I say what I did with the bones?
What do you mean?
I loosened them.
Well, yeah, but and I was going to talk about that too.
So, like, okay, the truth is, on those bones where I was pulling it out on that reel, I actually, before that reel, I took, how long would you say it took me to do?
I mean, not long. The thing is you're not,
well, anyway, real quick, let me finish. So, I basically got all of those bones, and I wiggled them until they came free, and then I was like, okay, you ready for the reel? So, basically, they were already pre-pulled. The bones were pre-pulled. So that's why I was able to pull them out with ease. Again, kind of knew what I was doing. I knew I wanted that reel, because remember, I was like, hey, pull out the phone. And so, again, we knew what we were doing there. But, yeah, honestly, the bones were not as loose as it looks in the reel, because right. I had already pre-pulled them. Yeah. And I wanted to make it look like super easy, like I was just yanking them out, which that's what it looked like. So that's why a lot of people think they were overcooked, but they weren't overcooked at all. And if you watch the full video, you'll actually be able to tell that they were not overcooked, because the meat wasn't shredding, still had a great moisture retention there. It was really a good rib.
Yeah. So a lot of the times too, when, for example, I know there are two different cuts of ribs. We used baby backs, and with competition we use spares.
Yep.
But with competitions, we take those ribs even further.
Oh,
and,
wait.
I mean, you can tell because those bones just basically fall out.
They 100% fall. Like, if you're not holding the bone, it's falling out.
Right. And so a lot of the times you can also tell if it's overcooked by the way the bone looks. The bone is going to look almost like chalky.
Yep.
And on those baby backs, on those baby back ribs, I mean, you can tell the bone doesn't look like that.
Yeah, it's not. Also, there's not a bunch of white speckles.
Yeah, and I don't think that's cheating in any sort of way to kind of, push and loosen it, because I mean, regardless, it still came out without
ripping the meat,
ripping and shredding the meat.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, there's definitely clues there to show that they weren't overcooked, and I mean, besides that, us tasting them, they were nowhere near overcooked. Yeah. They were definitely had the right bite to them, which honestly, I even prefer a baby back that's more cooked than that.
Yeah. But we wanted them to hold together, so it was because we were literally going to toss them, and you guys saw my tossing in the video. Horrible. I give myself an F- there. Truly the worst toss that I ever could have done. I even had a friend text me yesterday. He was watching the video, and he put a little video. He's like, bro, I was cracking up at this part. And it's me with the buffalo sauce, and I'm like, whoa. Oh my gosh, horrible. I'm very bad at doing that, and I'll be the first one to admit it. So that footage truly did not look good. It wasn't because the camera angles were bad. It was just because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But we did not want the rib to fall apart while we were actually tossing it, right?
Yeah.
So we did make sure that they weren't overcooked, because I didn't want them to turn into shredded pork while I was tossing them.
Well, also,
because I was also handling them.
Yeah, but also when you were slicing them, you weren't using a serrated knife. You were using just a regular
it was a chef's
knife,
mm-hmm.
right? And so every time you were going down, if they're overcooked, it's not going to cut down with that type of knife. It's going to like squash. It's
for sure.
Spread and move around. So yeah, they definitely were not overcooked. But I mean, it doesn't matter how perfect or how overcooked we make something on the channel. Someone's always going to think something. And that's just how it is when you're making content, right? So unless you're here in person trying the food, you're never really going to know. You know, and I know that there's ways to, you know, kind of fake it when it comes to making content, right? Like, oh, that didn't look too good. Let's edit the color. Or let's do this and that. You know, like we all know that those things are out there, and that's why people think that, right?
For sure.
But all we can do is tell you what we thought about it and how we felt, and show you the footage that we do show you, because we don't do any sort of like crazy color grading. It's just like, oh, let me fix the brightness on this, you know?
Yeah, that's a great point you bring up, right? Like, so Sabrina and I are 100% self-taught editors. Like I told you guys before, I've told you this story. I used to edit for probably 2 years by myself, and now you've been editing for around 2 years by yourself. We've been doing this around 4 years, and straight up, I mean, we don't do color grading. We don't do anything crazy. We brighten it up if it needs to be brightened.
Yeah,
and
auto adjust.
Yeah, auto adjust, and that's it. And honestly, I think that there's some beauty to that, right? Because we have had some stuff that maybe didn't look that great, or maybe didn't this, or maybe didn't that, and man, we don't really adjust it too much.
Yeah.
And we just like to be as real with you guys as we can. That being said, I'll tell you guys this. It doesn't bother me that people think it was overcooked. Again, I knew what I was doing. I'm just giving you guys insight because this is the podcast, and this is the things we talk about, right? We knew what we were getting ourselves into. I knew that pulling the bones like that, a lot of people would think those are overcooked. If you go back and look at the videos, I'm sorry, if you look at the comments, I did not respond to very many, like, at all, and I hearted all of them. Because it's like, again, I was getting what I wanted, and we were getting what we wanted from that. And man, there were some new people that put eyes on our profile, and they commented, they liked, they subscribed, and man, that's exactly what this is for. So we welcome the critique. It's completely fine. We are not the best cooks in the world. I'll say this a million times. But if you could take that idea and make it better, or if you could take that idea and make it your own, that's exactly what we want. Yeah. So the boneless rib wings, the rib wings, the tip, whatever you want to call them, they were really good. And they were really, really good. And I think it's a great idea just for, hey, you got a bunch of friends coming over. You can turn 2 racks of ribs into a bunch of little bite-sized pieces. Yes. And that was the other cool thing about it. Yeah. We ate. We went home. We ate. We went to mom and dad's. They ate. Then they still had leftovers for the next day, and then Joe got to try some.
Right.
So you could get a lot of food out of those 2 racks. If you cook like 4 racks, get yourself 4 different flavors, man, I'll tell you what, you got a lot of good eating there for sure.
Yeah, especially on like a game day if you have a lot of people over.
And that's exactly why we made it, right? Because football season's back. A lot of people are cooking game day recipes, and we think that's a great one too.
Yeah, you're usually not going to make just one thing on a game day. You're going to have lots of little things, right? So I think that's a perfect like appetizer or even main dish, right? Yeah. But most of the time, if you're watching the game, you don't really care if it's a main dish, right? Yeah. You'll sit there and snack the whole time. But
nachos.
Right,
I mean, literally wings. Yeah. And that's why we wanted this, because it's like, so we put them in like little baskets that you would get fries or whatever in. Man, grab them and go. And go. And man, they were delicious. They truly were delicious. The buffalo flavor was on point. The barbecue, we knew where the barbecue ones were going to be good. They were barbecue smoked ribs. But, man, I just think of a different flavor you guys want to try. Put it on there and enjoy it. Enjoy the cooking. And, that's basically what I have to say about that recipe for sure. It was really, really good.
Yeah, the buffalo was definitely a must try, especially with the ranch. Yeah. We made our homemade ranch. And honestly, it made me think, like, why is there not buffalo sauce on every rib I eat?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it really was that good. We used Killer Hog's hot sauce, which, again, if you guys have never tried that hot sauce, I'm being dead serious. I personally, that's my favorite hot sauce. Yeah. That and Schlotzsky's hot sauce are my 2 favorites. Schlotzsky's actually has a delicious hot sauce as well, but, man, Malcolm's is just such a good eating sauce. It is absolutely killer. So, I mean, just everything turned out really good with that recipe. We're really happy with it. But we also, before that, so that video came out on Tuesday. If you guys haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. It's out right now. We'll put a link up here. But before that, last week when we were on vacation, which is kind of what I alluded to earlier, we actually went to one of my friends, Sebastian's food truck. He's actually been on the podcast before, Barbecue Fiends. We'll put a link right there for that episode as well. And we went and we got to try his food out. And what did you think about the food? And so this is what I want to tell you guys. Sabrina and I respect this game so much. When I mean like barbecue and what people do, we're gonna be honest with you guys, and I would never say that, oh, I like this product just because, or this because of that, or just to try and, I'm not gonna do that. But what did you think about the food? I'm obviously gonna give my opinion as well.
Yeah, so kind of like you're saying just now, we're never gonna, go on the podcast or video and talk down on somebody's food, right?
Yeah.
We're either going to say something nice or we're just not going to say anything about it at all, right? So that being said, now this wasn't a full service barbecue menu. So he had brisket elote cups. He had burgers.
Brisket
burgers, wings, Frito pie or chili.
Brisket Frito pie.
Brisket Frito pie, banana pudding. What else am I missing? Is that it? No, potato salad. Is that all we tried?
Let me pull out my phone real quick. I got the. Oh,
and then was it chopped brisket?
I got the picture. Okay, so brisket elote cup. We had potato salad, brisket sandwich, brisket Frito pie, brisket burger, chicken wings, smoked chicken wings, and then yes, banana pudding. So that's what we got.
Yes. So every single thing that he brought out to us, first of all, he kills it with the presentation.
100%.
If y'all don't go follow, or if you don't follow him already, go follow him on Instagram, Barbecue Fiends, because he takes some of the best pictures of his food ever. And when you see it in person, it looks just as good.
Just as good.
And I mean, it's so beautiful, the platter he brought out. And every single thing that we tasted was amazing.
Amazing.
Literally. I mean, there's not much more to say besides it was so good. I mean, first of all, the potato salad, it's more of a, it was like a loaded.
It was a loaded potato salad. So it was almost like, imagine sour cream and all that
more
stuff.
More mayonnaise based. Right. More, and that's, I mean, we have different types of potato salad that we like, but
we both agreed that one was fire.
Right.
Because I do prefer a mustard-based potato salad, and you prefer a mayonnaise.
Right.
This one was mayonnaise-based, and we were both like, oh, yes.
The texture of it, it was like almost like in between, like if you think about potato salad, it's like cubed up potatoes, right? And of course, some of them kind of mash up around the edges, but this one was like in between a dice and a mash. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
But the texture was so good, and the flavor, it was one of my favorite things.
For sure.
And I love when a place has good sides, because I mean, yeah, everybody, for the most part, if you're making barbecue, you can pass off a decent rib or a decent slice of brisket, a decent chicken, right? But not everybody gets those sides right, and I think that's when you can really tell if a place was good. One of the comments, which we'll get to each individual dish, but one of the comments that we both had was it reminded us a lot of burnt bean, in the fact that their food looks good, it tastes good, and they're more of like chefs.
Yeah.
Than they are just.
You can tell they look at it as like an art.
Right.
Yeah, and I love that you brought that up, because I will say that, like, you can tell Sebastian really truly cares about his craft and his whole team. I met some amazing dudes that work there. Q, well, he's actually also a pitmaster at Leroy and Lewis. Super awesome guy. I really want to get back out there and try Leroy and Lewis as well. We actually had planned to do it, but then we're like, man, I don't know, because we ate barbecue the day before we went out of town at Tuttle's, and then we were like, maybe don't want to eat barbecue 4 days in a row, even though we do love it. We were just like, it's also expensive, so we didn't know if we wanted to spend, a couple $100 per visit. Anyway, no, you could tell he looks at it as an art, And one of the craziest things about it was when I was taking a bite of the brisket burger, I told Sebastian, I said, man, one of my favorite things about this burger is, believe it or not, the pickles.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, dude, you know what's crazy about those pickles? I was like, what? And he's like, dude, that's like our 20th recipe. Yeah. It took us 20 times to nail that pickle recipe, and we finally got it, and we finally love it. That's how much he cares, is that he has tried 20 different pickle recipes to make sure that his brisket burger, chopped brisket sandwiches, and everything have the best quality and best tasting pickle that he can make. Yeah. And that's just a true testament to how much he cares about it. And I agree with you. I have nothing but great things to say about what Sebastian has going on out there. And one of the other things that I told him was, man, I can tell it wasn't full service, but I can tell his brisket's banging because the brisket was on top of the elote cup and it wasn't actually mixed in. We did mix it in, of course. But, man, when you picked up the brisket and you looked at it, fat was rendered really nicely, super, super juicy, extremely tender, great flavor, not overly seasoned and not overly salty, had a great smoke flavor to it. And I could tell because I was eating pieces off the top by itself because, I mean, I'm not a food critic, but I definitely wanted to form my own opinion in my head. Right. And, again, I would not say this lightly at all. That's some of the best food I've ever had in my entire life. And hands down. And I have nothing but props to give to Sebastian and his team and everybody that they're doing, everything that they're doing out there at Barbecue Fiends. If you guys do not or have not checked out that food truck, you absolutely have to go. We'll put a link in the description for Sebastian's social media. And that way you can see what their menu is, when they're serving. They do Thursday through Sunday. And, man, again, it was just truly delicious food. And I was so happy to be able to go over there and see Sebastian. It's great seeing Sebastian. He's a great friend. I told him, I promise we'll be back soon for a full service. So that's when he's going to have his brisket, his ribs, his sausage, smoked turkey, all that stuff. So we technically could have gone and got that, but that was going to be one of the days that we were leaving, so we felt like, let's not try and do that. But amazing food. The service was awesome. The plating was awesome. It tasted delicious. And if you guys can get out there, you absolutely need to.
Yeah, Sebastian even said the brisket elote cup is like,
it's
a fan favorite. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a must try. That was one of our favorite things that we ate. Just so good.
It probably was my favorite. I mean, everything was so good, but so the brisket elote cup was so good that we took a bite. We each took a bite.
We were going to split one.
We each took a bite, and I was like, I'll be right back. And I went and bought another one because I was like, I'm not sharing with you. Sorry.
He puts like a drizzle of hot sauce on the top, which really sets it off. It adds a little like vinegar tang to it.
Like I said, it like makes your jaw like clench. But so, we did want to bring up Sebastian and Barbecue Fiends, and that is one of the things that we did. And, again, shout out Sebastian. Man, we're super, I'm super proud to call that guy a friend, and I'm super proud of what he's doing. So
yeah, and the location that their food truck is at is really cool, which hopefully, though, they can get into their own place soon. Yeah, that would be great. I think they've all got the talent to get the Barbecue Fiends to where it needs to be in a brick and mortar. But yeah, that being said, the location was really cool. They had like a play set and everything. It's fenced in. It's great view. Yeah. The weather started getting really nice while we were there. It wasn't super hot. Yeah. And I mean, the kids had a blast. We could watch them play while we were eating. Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And shoot, we walked away way too full.
Way like ugly full.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I feel ugly. Like and how many times I was like, oh, I gotta stop eating, and then I was just like, oh, but I gotta finish this. I gotta take another bite. So I probably had about 500 extra bites than I needed to, but it was just that good. So again, one more time, shout out Sebastian, shout out Barbecue Fiends. You guys are doing big things over there. I 100%, I'm not even exaggerating, I 100% expect them to be on the Texas Monthly Top 50.
Yeah. And that's kind of like what we walked away, got in the car, and you had even said, like, he is going to make it.
For sure.
That they're going to make it.
And this is like literally, Sabrina's telling you like a conversation we had privately. I literally got it and I was like, dude, they're 100% going to make it. Like, I know it because there's no way anybody goes and eats that food and thinks like, that's not amazing.
Yeah.
Seriously, there's no way. I was eating everything exactly the way it came, which is like, okay, I don't like onions. I was eating everything exactly the way it came with the onions and everything, and just the way the flavor of everything they have came together, it made me like pickled onions. And I don't like pickled, I mean, you know this.
Yeah.
I don't like pickled onions. I don't like, I just, they just got it going on over there. You guys have to go. And then I was looking at social media after that week, or I'm sorry, after that day that we went, and for the rest of the week, they sold out every single day, like pretty early. Mm-hmm. So they're popping right now, especially with football season coming up, man. You guys got to go out there. It's at the Rockabilly Brewing Company. Is it Rockabilly? Rockabilly Brewing Co. in Hutto, Texas. So I don't know the exact location. I'm sorry, the exact address, but it's at the Rockabilly Brewing Co. in Hutto, Texas. I can tell you that 100%.
Yeah, we'll definitely put it in the description.
Yeah, we'll put a link to his Facebook, and then also we'll put the address down there as well, which it's 100% worth going by and checking out for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of consider ourselves like foodies. We're not food critics, but we definitely like to go and try different things, and we critique it to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of barbecue. We've had a lot of good barbecue, but we've had probably even more bad barbecue, unfortunately, right?
For sure.
So,
but you know what? That being said, with the bad barbecue, man, I love people putting themselves out there, and I believe everybody can get better. So I think a lot of it is like, if you want to learn, if you want to get better, you can and you will. So, man, even if your barbecue ain't that great right now, man, keep pushing.
Well, so my point though is that there, I guess I shouldn't say bad barbecue, right? But there's definitely some subpar barbecue that.
No, I mean I definitely think there's some bad barbecue
that have some brick and mortars that people keep on going to and going to. You know, so I would love to see people going and going and going to Barbecue Fiends.
For sure.
Especially for some really, really, really good barbecue. I mean, the majority of barbecue is going to be priced high because it's barbecue. That's what it is. So if you're going to spend the money on it, go spend it on places that are really, really good.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Sebastian's good people. His whole team, they're good people. And they just put out some really amazing looking food. It's one of those things that, I mean, you're going to walk away being in awe just by the way it tastes and by the way it looks.
Yeah,
so.
No doubt at all. So, if you guys are interested in anything Barbecue Fiends, like I said, go ahead and look in the description right now. We'll put as much information as we possibly can. And, another thing that we kind of talked about on the last podcast, it's been a couple of weeks, is golf. Man, I got a golf tournament coming up next weekend. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. So I'm playing with one of my high school teammates, Dylan. He probably wouldn't want me saying his name on here. Not that he does anything bad, but I'm playing with him. And I was telling you today, I'm like, man, I don't feel like I'm putting in the time like I know Dylan is, but I just gosh, we've been gone, and then we've been pretty busy here, like literally. So I mean, what time is it right now? It's 7:23 in the afternoon. I got home late at like 5:40.
Yeah,
we literally changed and came straight over here. We've been doing stuff here since then. So. And then after the podcast, I mean, we haven't even eaten dinner yet.
Yeah, we
so
gotta go make dinner.
It's like we gotta go make dinner, or I was even thinking, man, we're right next to Mom and Dad's house. Why don't we go to Mom and Dad, see what they're doing?
Yeah.
And then maybe pick something up for dinner. I'm like, it's so hard. But that being said, I embrace this. I love it. Having the office, knowing that I was telling you, and I told you this, maybe. I mean, this isn't like a private conversation, but I told you this. I said, man, it's now we got to work even harder than we've been because, we got this office space, and we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we can no longer have this office space. So we got to push even harder, and so this weekend, I'm going to have to wake up a little bit early and practice golf every single day and maybe go play 9 holes in the afternoon or whatever. But I know Saturday, we're going to be filming, so I'll probably wake up early, go hit balls, and not really play any holes. But I do got to get ready for a golf tournament next week with my buddy. So going to go out there and absolutely do everything I can to play the best golf I possibly can. It's been a long time since I've put myself in a position where I played pressure golf. Mm-hmm. You know, I've like recently shot 72 even par or even under par with zero pressure. So it's easy to do when you don't have any pressure. And I do feel like I've been playing really good golf, but it's because it doesn't matter. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to be like that, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm going playing with my buddies and just hitting the ball and like, how perfect, you know, and we'll go up there, hit another one close to the hole, make the putt. Oh, badass. I made a birdie, you know, whatever. And, you know, I don't even know if we've really talked about this, but I mean, for you guys that don't know, like, I've had a really crazy, extraordinary life. You know, like I played golf at a pretty high level. I played golf in college. After college, I was on a professional gaming team that like traveled all over the world, and we were sponsored by Red Bull, and we like Red Bull rented out like Full Sail University for us and a whole racetrack. Like, you remember all that? Mm-hmm. And we've been dating for a very long time. Well, not dating anymore, but we've been together for a very long time. And that being said, like, I used to have a lot of situations where I was playing in pressure golf situations, and it's been a while, so I'm curious to see how my body is going to react to that, because the truth is, when pressure comes, things don't always go your way. Your body reacts a little bit different. You're a little tighter. Sometimes you swing a little bit harder, not on purpose. The adrenaline's going. Your club speed's faster. Your ball speed's faster. Your ball spins a little bit more, either left, right, or back. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, so I'm excited to see how that goes. But this weekend, we are planning on doing a longer cook with our offset smoker on the Outlaw, which we've been cooking a lot on, and it's an absolute beast. And I promise, I know I've said it a billion times, but we're going to start working on shorts. We actually already filmed one. We filmed a short, so now we just got to edit it. Actually, I think we filmed 2. Did we film 2 or 1?
Well, no, so we pretty much we filmed 2. Yes.
Yeah, we filmed 2 shorts, so now we just got to edit them.
3, because I made sure to film the whole video in short form.
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
So, we'll have to do some voiceover and stuff to get those things out. But
if anybody out there is interested in being hired for like barbecue, because we don't have a lot of money to pay right now, and they want to do like short form content for us, call me and let me know, because Sabrina's over there handling like 16 cameras at once, and it's like, this is wild. I mean, I see her with the phone, and then she's got the Osmo Pocket. She's got the Sony's.
I took a little bit of a risk, because the Pocket, the footage is really good.
Yep.
But when you put it in like vertical orientation, the quality
it goes down.
It automatically goes down. I don't know if there's a way to change that, but it automatically goes down, right? So your short form automatically is going down a peg, because if we use our phones, we can shoot that in 4K for sure, right? So I took a little bit of a risk, and normally my secondary camera is the ZV-1, which always looks good.
Yep.
So I used the ZV-1 for short form orientation. We have a tripod that's able to, switch the orientation. Mm-hmm. And I used the Pocket as secondary. And I think
it turned out really good.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference. I can tell the difference between that and the ZV-1 or even the A6400. But that being said, I thought the footage still turned out really good. I mean, I think we got to figure out our camera situation. I know we do want to get a new camera, which I stopped him from doing. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah. Did I talk about that
on Facebook? Or maybe you might have.
On the podcast, literally, I was like, we found a Sony A7 Mark 5 or 4. It was a 5. I think it was a 5. Know. We found a Sony A7 Mark 5 at Best Buy that was, what do they call it? Open box?
Open box, but never used.
It was open box, never used, 100% guaranteed to work, still had the manufacturer's warranty. It was literally like $1,000 less than the brand new one that was right next to it. It came with everything, all the cables, the batteries, everything. And I was like, let's get it right now. And Sabrina's like, I don't know if we should. I don't think we should. We're fine with our cameras right now. Let's wait until we can buy 2 at once, because she's right? We don't want to make a huge upgrade on one camera, and then the second one is like way off.
Yeah, and I typically like to have like 3 cameras for a regular YouTube video.
Yeah,
you know?
so she's right. She's absolutely right. She's like, well, let's wait till we can get 2 at once, and an extra lens because, you know, we want to do some stuff on the golf course as well. Mm-hmm. But so I ended up not getting in. I was pretty, I don't want to say mad, but I definitely felt some type of way about it.
I don't say no about anything like ever, but I was just like, I think we should maybe just
I agree with what you said. We should definitely get 2 at once if we can. So that's something that we're going to be working towards because we do. I mean, I feel like it's getting close to time for us to upgrade equipment because, I mean, our quality looks good, but it can be better. And, you know, again, you know, we'll get there. It just, that day wasn't the day. And, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, again, this weekend we're going to be filming some more long-form content, obviously. I have some ideas in my head. I think I want to do... Okay, so there's this guy that's been on our YouTube comments, and when I tell you he has... I think his name on there is like Willie something. When I tell you he's commented on almost every video, like the past 10, hey, I want a Weber Searwood smoked beef rib, dino ribs. Like he's been...
yeah.
He's been,
yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's been like... And I'm like, hey... I even commented one time, and I was like, hey, brother, I don't really have this planned, so I don't want you to keep waiting, but thank you so much for watching the content. Because he was commenting over and over and over and over. And, man, thank you for commenting. So, honestly, I think I want to give this dude what he wants.
Yeah, well, we were going to film a beef rib video, but that was at night. We just stayed up way too late, and then we woke up
which happens
late.
quite often.
Yeah.
Which happens quite often. We're
so that must have been later than normal because we go to bed late.
I will say I'm proud of us, and I'm actually being super sincere. I'm proud of us because I do feel like we work hard and we take our business very seriously. That being said, if I have 10 days off, you can bet your sweet dollar that about 2 of them we're staying up until 4:30 a.m. watching, and we're like forcing the kids to stay up with us. I don't even care. I'm like,
well, Penny Schultz. Penny could stay up for forever. The other 2 will just...
Oh, and speaking of which, Penny's been playing Stardew Valley, and she asked us if she can start a Stardew Valley YouTube channel to teach people how to do Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing.
Oh, today they were talking about that because of the desk. I was moving the desk, and they're like, those chairs... We saw some chairs at Office Depot that the kids liked, and they're like, oh, if we get those chairs, can we bring them over here? I was like, well, no, those are for, like, at the house. Which now we have a room. Somebody could have this room, and you can have a little desk. And Penny's like, oh, and I can, like, start... a YouTube channel and have a little desk there, and then of course Poppy's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna start one too." I
honestly don't mind if Penny has a YouTube channel if she's teaching people how to play Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley. I mean, obviously we would have to
a little bit older.
Yeah, a little bit older. I agree. Maybe like 10 or 12.
Yeah.
And we'll see if she's still into it, and then obviously we would have to edit those videos anyway. But it's kind of a little heartwarming because it's like your kid is obviously wanting to do it because you're doing it. They know we have a YouTube channel. They know we have this business. And the fact that we have even just a little bit of influence on what they want to do, that is truly from the bottom of my heart and soul, like the most satisfying thing ever. I've told you guys before, I'll say it again. I would love more than anything for the kids when they're 18 years old to come to me and say, Dad, I don't think school is for me. But I got this idea. Yeah.
I think that's one of the best parts is, like even Penelope, she's very passionate about dance. So, you know, when you ask her, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? Like, she's like, oh, I want to own a dance studio. So to have the kids see that we're trying to be entrepreneurs and be our own bosses and let them know that that's a possibility for them too. Like, it is 100% a possibility for her to own her own dance studio.
Yeah. And I literally pray that I can be the one to fund it.
Yeah,
or we can be the one to fund it, because it's like, hey, okay, we're going to build you a dance studio. You have to do this schooling to become an instructor. Go ahead and get it done. While you're doing that, we'll build the studio. Come on back. Boom. You know what I mean? Yeah, or finish it, prove to us that you're going to do it, and then we'll build it or something. So believe it or not.
We didn't think this was possible.
No, we didn't.
Now with the stuff that we've learned, we know that it's possible, and it's possible for them too.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I've learned recently even is man, I've always kind of been one of those people where I don't necessarily want to say I don't want to ask questions, because I definitely don't mind asking questions. But I've always had some reservation about, I guess, yes, about asking too many questions. But recently I've really come to realize that there's nothing wrong with asking questions to people who have already been in the situations that you're going through. And don't be afraid to do that, because a lot of people have huge insight, and they can really, really, really be helpful when you're trying to be successful. Like, for example, for us, the health department thing, ask us a question. Ask us that question. Like, hey, am I allowed to have my seasonings in my house? Man, unfortunately, the answer is no. Yeah. I have people reach out all the time on Instagram. You know, there's a guy that he recently started his own seasoning company. Man, we were going back and forth about these details, that details. And I'm like, man, I don't mind sharing anything with you. Doesn't bother me at all. So, just ask the questions if you guys have them. Don't be afraid to. And, I mean, just let us know if you have anything, and we're here for you guys, and we'll try and be here as much as we possibly can.
It's not our goal to hide anything or keep anything to ourselves, or feel like, you're going to rise up faster than us if we help you, right? Because we're worried about our success, it's dependent on us and nobody else. So we're definitely willing to share what information that we can, especially because, I mean, if you have the money and you can find a different spot to put your products, I mean, do that. But if you don't know about that and you think, I'll just use that money on something else and put the products in my house, then you kind of screwed yourself, right? Yeah. So, I mean, what you don't know unless you finally learn it.
Yeah, you ask. And so that's I think that's a great way to, kind of dwindle down the podcast today. Great conversation today. Super happy to be in our new office space, and feeling very blessed to be here.
Yeah, we kind of got to work on the seating in the area.
So the seating, and we have to put more of these. If you guys are watching, we have to put some more of these soundproofing, and hopefully this sounds okay. We're shooting from the hip.
I haven't heard the kids at any point, so that's a plus.
Yeah, it's like, but we need to put more of these up. Yeah. And we have some stuff we're still doing, but we did want to get in here and podcast this week. We're really excited. And we do have a competition coming up the weekend after the barbecue. I'm sorry, after the golf tournament. So we have a competition coming up. Be on the lookout for that content. And obviously we're going to film that whole thing. We'll finally be back almost 4 months later. Yeah. It's been a while. That being said, I think we're also going to plan on every summer from here on out, probably taking the summers off. It's too brutally hot for us to just be out there competing every single summer. And I'm not interested in doing it. If we ever go full time with this, we've already talked about it. Maybe every other week or every 2 weeks, we'll try and hit a KCBS out there somewhere.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And that would be really cool for us to travel and do different things and get some sort of travel trailer. And, who knows? So also want to give a quick shout out to Bill Purvis, Chicken Fried Barbecue. I've been a co-host on the Shiggin' Fried with Chicken Fried podcast 2 times out of the past, 3 or 4 weeks?
Something like that.
And it's been really fun. I don't have any of the privileges to be a co-host, but he still throws me up on the screen, and we have a great time. He's actually coming out with a new seasoning very soon called Sweet Grind. So
nice.
he's going to have a sweet barbecue seasoning coming out. Again, stay tuned for that. Stay up to date for all of that. Shout out to Raul. Last weekend, he got a second place chicken in Los Fresnos. He cooked thighs. Can I say that, Raul? Can I say that? Raul cooked thighs. They looked banging. He said they tasted banging, and obviously they did. Second place. So congrats to Raul, to my boy Raul. And I think he said he wanted to come over here soon, so I think he'll probably come over. Yeah. If anybody has stickers that we can put on our refrigerator here in the office, make sure to do that. We'll put our P.O. box in the description down below, and you guys can send us stickers, and we'll definitely throw them up here. But, man, good first episode in the new office. Do you have anything else that you wanted to chat about today? Did I miss anything?
No, I think that was it. I don't know if we missed talking about. Did we miss talking about the overnight brisket since we
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Just real quickly, we did an overnight brisket. And,
yeah.
I mean,
so we did an overnight brisket.
I feel like we might have talked about this. I don't know, but
if we didn't,
go watch the video if we didn't talk about it.
Yeah,
check it out.
If we didn't talk about the overnight brisket, go check it out. We call it the Frio method.
Mm-hmm.
That is patented, trademarked, copyrighted by my brother Sid. My buddy, one of my best friends of all time. Sid calls it the Frio method because we came up with this idea at the Frio River, where everybody can continue to be down at the river having adult beverages while briskets were cooking. So overnight, low and slow, bring that temperature up in the morning, and then just get your brisket to perfection. So Matt Pittman, Malcolm Reed have also done their own version of this. Ours is not that different, but it is a little bit. So go check it out. It's on the channel right now. It is the third or fourth video back now because this podcast, I guess it would be the third. I don't know. It's there. Okay, it's there. So go check it out if you guys are interested in that. And I thought about another thing I was going to say while we started talking about that. Yes. I was going to say that I'm also going to put a link in the description down below for our Facebook group, which we really never plug. But if you guys are interested in being in our Facebook group, we have something there where you guys can share cooks, ask competition questions, and really just hang out with other people that really like barbecue and cooking food in general.
Yeah.
So anyway, was that it for you?
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm excited about The Office. I'm excited to finish getting it put together, which has been a lot of fun. And I'm excited for cooler weather, cooler barbecue weather, which we got some. Today was hot.
Yeah, today was hot.
It's been cool every once in a while. So I'm excited to start putting out some cooler weather recipes.
For sure. Yep, we're absolutely going to nail those this year. We got to stay ahead. So either way, thank you guys for watching and listening to the All Things Everything podcast presented by us, Gulf Coast Smoke. If you guys are not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that right now. We're almost to 43,000 subscribers, and in my crazy head, I think we can get to 100,000 this year. It just takes that one video. It just takes that one share in order for us to get in front of the right person, and I really think that the sky's the limit with the channel. If you guys listen on Spotify or Apple Music, make sure to stay updated with us every single week. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Gosh, I got to do peace with my left hand now.
And we switched sides here.
Why did we do that?
I did it because wasn't sure how these angles were going to be, so I was trying to put you in front of that more, and just in case if light was coming in this way or something, if the shot was bad.
We're going to figure everything out. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.